Hello, all. I hope you are having a nice day and are able to relax a little bit. My name is Rachel. Some of you may know me already from after school, or maybe if you were at a different school and I did some Saturday programming for you or anything like that, in school stuff. You may have seen me around the leadership world, but if not, it's wonderful to meet you over the internet. And today we're going to be doing a really fun visualization meditation exercise on goal setting. So if you're not sure what meditation is, it is kind of a time for, it can be sort of a very broad term. So it's a time for you to focus and recenter yourself and sort of dig into your imagination. In this case, meditation can look a lot of different ways, but for this visualization meditation, we will be closing our eyes and really focusing in on goals that we would like to achieve. So we'll be doing that, and then we will open our eyes and do a little writing exercise. Sound good? All right. So we are going to talk about SMART goals. Now, let's see. I have my examples written down. Don't worry about reading the pencil yet. Just look at everything written in black marker, okay? All right. So, SMART goals. Now, some of you may have heard of this before, either in some of your classes or anything like that. Some of your clubs, maybe in another club that you were in, you may have heard of SMART goals, but it's always good to refresh. And if you haven't, this is a great time to learn. So, a SMART goal is a goal that is specific, measurable, attainable or action-oriented, realistic, and timely. These are all of the things that make a goal a SMART goal. And once you make a goal a SMART goal, it is much more easy to achieve. It's much easier to achieve. So we'll be talking a little bit more about this after our visualization exercise. But just to introduce it for you, this is what a SMART goal is. So I want you right now, before we do our exercise, to find a paper and a pen or a pencil and write this down so that afterwards we are all ready to go. So I'll give you a moment to go find a pencil and a pen or a piece of paper right now. And I'm going to hold this up for you to copy it down. So if you want, you can always pause the video too, and I will be here waiting when you come back. See you in a bit. Now's a great time to pause. Do. All right, welcome back. If you still don't have your pen and pencil and your paper, that's fine. Go ahead and find it. And again, you can always feel free to pause this video at any time if you need to go back. Okay, so now that you're all ready to go, I'm going to hold this up and copy these down. Specific, measurable, attainable or action-oriented, realistic, and timely. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about that afterwards, but just go ahead and copy that down now. So you're all set. And like I did, make sure that you leave yourself some space to write underneath. Okay, now that you have that all copied down, let's get started with our visualization meditation exercise. All right, so I want you to close your eyes. My eyes will stay open, but go ahead and close your eyes. Close your eyes. I know some of you may not have your eyes closed because I've done this before and it can feel a little funny to close your eyes. I get it. But it'll be a little bit better if you close your eyes and take away all of the focus of everything around you. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes for some reason, you can stare at a wall or the ceiling while you do this. Any kind of blank surface is fine. If you're really uncomfortable closing your eyes, it can feel kind of awkward for some people. Go ahead and just find a blank wall to stare at or at the ceiling while we go through this. All right? So I'll give you a second to get all situated. Sit somewhere nice and comfy. You have your paper and your pencil out in front of you for later. And close your eyes. Okay. All right. I want you to take a second and imagine something that you want to achieve. Just think about something you want to achieve. It can be very basic, very simple, just so you have a general idea of something that you would like to achieve. Give you a couple seconds more. For example, it could be you want to be able to do 15 push-ups without stopping, or you want to be able to draw a little bit better, or you want to get better at painting, or like I said, drawing or sketching, or you want to improve your handwriting. Maybe you want to learn about a new subject. That could be something. My goal that I have right now is I want to be able to run 2 miles without stopping. So I want to be able to run without stopping. That's my goal, running without stopping. I love to run, but sometimes I stop partway through to catch my breath, and I want to be able to run without stopping. So think about any goal that you'd like to achieve. All right, now that you have it, I want you to imagine yourself achieving that goal. You've done all the steps you need to take, which we'll talk about in a second, and you are achieving that goal. So in my mind, I am running without stopping. I'm feeling great. In your mind, you might have really great handwriting, or you might have improved your reading skills, or you may be able to draw all kinds of things with ease, or look at something and be able to draw it, or think of a kind of animal and be able to draw it. So I want you to imagine yourself doing that thing. And I want you to think about who you are with when you're doing that thing. Are you by yourself when you're doing that? What are you wearing? Even if it's not related to your goal, imagine it. What is that really, all of the things that looks like? Okay. All right, so now that we've thought about doing our goal, we're going to go through a list of the SMART goals. Don't worry about remembering what they are right now. I'll guide you through this visualization. So I want you to try and make your goal as specific as possible. Some of you may have done this already. Some of you may have already done some of these steps, but we're just going to double check ourselves. So I want you to think of a way that you can make your goal as specific as possible. So for example, mine, I want to run without stopping. So that's already specific. What is it that I want to do? Not just I want to get better at running, but I want to run without stopping. So that's much more specific. Yours might be, instead of I want to get better at reading, you could say I want to get better at reading chapter books, or I want to get better at drawing animals, or I want to improve my singing skills. I want to be able to sing pop songs or older songs or theater songs, or I want to be able to write a letter, something, however specific you can make it. I want to improve my printing. I want to improve my script writing or cursive writing, some may call it. So however specific you can make it, okay? Great. So I want to run without stopping. Pretty specific. Now, we need to make it measurable. Measurable means that not only is it specific, but there's a way that we can measure it if you've done your goal. So I want to run 2 miles without stopping. It's measurable. Did I run 2 miles without stopping or not? So it's measurable. Think about how you might make your goal measurable. You could say, for example, I want to be able to draw 5 animals. Instead of I want to draw animals, get better at drawing animals, you could say, I want to get better at drawing five animals, and think about what those animals might be. Or I want to get better at writing a 1-page letter. Or I want to be able to read 3 chapters of a chapter book. So how is it measurable? A way that you'll know that you got there. Okay? The next word is A for attainable or action-oriented. And that's on your paper in front of you. So I want you to imagine yourself, remember your eyes are still closed with all of this. It sounds a little kind of maybe fuzzy right now. It'll make sense. Right now we're just sort of brainstorming and getting our heads in the moment. So the next word is attainable or action-oriented. This means, what will you do to achieve this goal? How is your goal action-oriented, or what will you do to achieve the goal? Because it's wonderful to have a goal, but there has to be steps you will take to achieve it. And is it a goal that you're able to achieve by doing specific steps? What actions will you take? For example, I will run 4 times a week for 45 minutes to practice. So it's measurable, right? It's actionable. So I know the actions I'm going to take to achieve that goal. I will run 4 times a week for 45 minutes to improve my running ability, my stamina. So how will you take action to achieve your goal? Will you practice drawing your animals for 20 minutes a day for 4 days a week, for example? That could be actionable. And it's very specific and it's measurable. So will you practice drawing animals for 20 minutes a day for 4 days a week, like I said? Or will you read 10 pages a day for 4 days a week? Or will you sing one new song a day, 3 days a week, and just practice that? Or will you, it could be things like, I will listen to other singers. I will listen to one new singer a day. Or I will research vocal exercises and practice my vocal technique for 20 minutes a day for 5 days a week. This can also mean, who can you reach out to help you? An action you could take is something like that. I will talk to one new artist a week to help me achieve my goal. Any steps that you can take to achieve your goal. Or I will look up a vocal coach. Or I will talk to other friends who are runners and get their advice for improving my running. Okay? All right. So far we have our goal is very specific. It's measurable. We'll know when we've achieved it, right? It's action-oriented. We know the actions we are going to take to make the goal happen. And next, we have to think about, is this realistic? Is this a realistic goal? Could I realistically run 2 miles without stopping eventually? I could. With practice, with taking action steps, with making sure that I stay specific in that goal, I could realistically do this. My body could realistically achieve this goal. Also, could I realistically run 4 times a week for 45 minutes? I could do that. I could realistically achieve that goal. I have 2 legs that work. I have lungs that work. That's a realistic thing for me to do. I have the equipment I need. I have workout clothes. I have a place to run. So is it realistic for you? Do you have pencils and paper to draw with? Is it realistic? Do you have a way to find the information that you need to practice? Do you have the ability to reach that, set those time limits? If I have a very busy schedule, I may not be able to realistically run 4 times a week for 45 minutes. So it has to be realistic. Do you have the time to set aside to do those things? So think about how it can be realistic. And just sort of double check yourself. The last is timely. Is it timely? Meaning, is there an end time for you to achieve this goal? For example, I could say, yeah, I want to run 2 miles without stopping. I'll get there when I get there. I'll run 45 minutes for, 4 times a week, and whenever I get there is when I get there. Okay. But you're more likely to push yourself to practice, or to practice your drawing, or to practice your writing, or to practice your singing if you have an end time. It is timely. There is a deadline. This is what really makes a goal work. So when would you like to be able to do this by? The end of the summer, maybe? Or 1 month from now? What is the time limit you're giving yourself? For me, my goal, I would like to achieve my goal by August 30th. I would like to achieve my goal by August 30th. So I'm making it timely. All right? So think about all of those things that you have sort of visualized for yourself. And I want you to open your eyes and take a look at the paper in front of you that we have prepared for ourselves. Okay? So you're all ready to go. Now you have done a lot of brainstorming. And let's fill it out. So, how is your goal specific? Take a look at what your section is here, where you've written specific. How is your goal specific? Remember, mine was, I want to run without stopping. Okay. That's what I want to do. How is your goal specific? For example, I want to get better at drawing animals. I want to be able to read chapter books. I want to be able to sing pop songs. Specific, right? So someone could say, oh, okay, that's what you want to do. All right? Next, how is your goal measurable? How are you measuring it? How will you know that what is it? How are you measuring it? So, I want to run 2 miles without stopping. Okay. That's measurable. How are you able to measure your goal? For example, I want to get better at singing 2 new pop songs. Or I want to be able to read 2 chapter books. Or I want to be able to write 1 letter to somebody. Or email to somebody. Or a letter you might send someone, or a birthday card. I want to be able to write that clearly. Write a letter to someone clearly. So it's measurable, right? There's a way to measure it. Okay. Next was attainable or action-oriented, right? So this was, what steps were we going to take to make this happen? So what did you brainstorm in your visualization about the action steps you were going to take? So mine was, I will run 4 times a week for 45 minutes to practice. Those are the action steps I'm writing down that I am going to take. Yours might be, I will look up 2 new singers a week. Or, and in addition to, I will practice my vocal technique 3 times a week for 5 minutes. It's measurable and it's action-oriented. We have the actions we are going to take as part of our goal. Okay? Next, is it realistic? Do you have what you need to do it? And do you know that it's something that you are able to achieve? This is a realistic goal for you. If you have pencil and paper, it's realistic, and you love to draw, it's realistic for you that you could reach your goal to get better at drawing 5 different animals, or to get better at writing 1 letter. You have the action steps you're taking, you could do that. You have pen and paper, or you have the resources to follow through on your action steps. You could be able to talk to a couple artists a week, or you could find a way to improve your vocal technique. It's a realistic thing. An example of something that would not be realistic is, right now, I could not practice scuba diving. It would be fun, but it's not a realistic goal for me right now. I don't have access to a pool right now, or the ocean, or a scuba teacher. So to set a goal to get better at scuba diving would not be a very realistic goal for me right now. So what is it has to be realistic. Okay? All right. Next, timely. How are you going to make this goal timely? Remember, it's much more likely that you will achieve your goal if you set a deadline for yourself. When will you do this by? By when will you draw 5 animals? Better. By when will you be able to write someone a letter neatly? When will you be able to learn 2 pop songs? When will you be able to sing those? Right? For me, I will run 4 times a week for 45 minutes each per session so that I can run 2 miles without stopping by August 30th. So I have a deadline in there. I have clear action steps. I have a specific goal, and I'm able to measure it. Right? So think of all the action steps you will take to draw 5 animals by the end of July or by October. Whatever it is, this is your chance to decide what that will be for you. Okay? All right. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Remember that you can always come back to it for any goals that you might have. It's very helpful. There are many ways to set goals, but this has been proven to be super, super helpful. So SMART goal, now you have your little cheat sheet in front of you to remember what that is. And remember, you can always close your eyes and imagine anything that you would like to be able to achieve. And if you follow these steps, I believe in you and that you can achieve it. All right? So I hope that you enjoyed watching this, and I look forward to maybe someday hearing about the goals that you wrote down and were able to achieve. I wish I could be there with you in person, but I have faith that you'll be able to do it. All right? Take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your day.